critical issues that I plead the committee to consider. Number one is from our law's point of view. The national broadcaster is presently guided by the Broadcasting Services Act and the Commercialization Act. I wish to put it to this committee that we have it as an amendment that the national broadcaster be governed by just one act, which, if it is passed into law, good for us. But can we correct the botch-up work that we did before of having the Broadcasting Services Act and the Commercialization Act, if it could be? Number two, the law currently says Zimbabwean citizens who are paying licenses, radio, television, they are paying for ownership of the gadget. It doesn't talk about the services provided. It doesn't talk about other critical issues. Can we consider changing that to not just ownership of a gadget? You may own a gadget that is not functional, that is not working, and you get harassed for ownership of that gadget. Can we do something about that? I believe it's an old law passed several years, I believe even before independence. That's an important issue. I see the huge effort to fight to capacitate the national broadcaster, which is a good thing for us. But let's agree that spoon-feed approach to capacitate the national broadcaster is not the best, all things being considered. We must also go a further issue to say the national broadcaster, after being capacitated by the authorities that be and all of us as Zimbabwean citizens, we must evaluate them. We must ask them to pay a dividend to the state, to the government of Zimbabwe. We have capacitated to do this. What have you done in terms of performance? There must be critical performance measurements for the national broadcaster to produce a dividend, and specific dividend that does not remain just talk show business, but every year they are asked to produce a dividend after being capacitated. And the capacitation should not be a seasonal capacitation approach where we see a huge effort to capacitate the national broadcaster when we are holding elections. The national broadcaster must be there to carry out its mandate, perfectly professional and everything else. We used to have a situation where radio and television were the two pillars of broadcasting. The modern world has added a third one, which combines radio on the other side and television on the other side. Digital programming is very important considering worldwide trends for effective broadcasting. Can we have it clear in this bill, which I believe and pray that it will be approved into an act, that we now have a three-pillar, three-tier broadcasting industry, which is television, radio, and digital programming. These three for broadcasting must be a mandate for anyone who wishes to get a broadcasting license. And the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe must also be capacitated to consider those issues when they are issuing licenses for those who want to be involved in the field of broadcasting. It is important for this field. I see everyone being excited about just willy-nilly talking about broadcasting. From a very professional career growth issue, broadcasting is about quality, professionalism, best practice, international standards. My example is in our SADC region, our best broadcaster, whether you like them or you don't like them, SABC is up there, above everyone else in the SADC region. The reason being their approach. The government supports SABC operations from their legal framework, from their operations, from their resource point of view. And they make sure they are consistently in line with modern trends in equipment. This field of broadcasting is technology driven. If you don't focus on equipment, you will never be successful in broadcasting. And if we don't focus on providing modern, relevant, and competitive equipment, we can stand to blame each other for the next 20, 30, 50 years because we are focusing on the wrong things. Can we be strategic? Can we be professional? Can we consider quality issues even in the way we speak, even the way we talk about languages? We've been shouting about languages. Someone says sign language. In here, in this process, we don't even have any consideration for sign language because we feel we are all able-bodied. But sign language is critical. Our constitution now says we recognize 16 languages, including sign language. Can we have it specific in this amendment process that this language must be practically treated this way, that way, without bias, without excluding or ignoring